Hi, it's your favourite Yorkshire demo here. This is Suzanne from Hullahbaloo.com, and in our last video you saw me make these Matchbox embellishment cases in which you saw me make these ready to use with packs of embellishments from Stampin' Up, and then they all fit into this little library box like so. So today's video is going to show you how to make this storage box for them to sit in. So this will house 7 of these Matchbox embellishments, and will then allow them to sit, as you can see, quite sturdy and ever so nice and neat in a corner of your craft room. So we're going to crack on. Now today I'm using a piece of Very Vanilla, just to show you that any of the thick cardstocks can do this for you. So it's a full sheet of A4 that you need. The full sheet will bring together the box nice and sturdy. And so we're going to score on the long side at 2 inches, and then rotate it 180 degrees and it's 2 inches again. Or that's 2 and 9 3/4. On the short side, we're going to score at 1, at 2, at 5 1/8, at 7 1/8. So you have this kind of pattern, and that's all the scoring. There is absolutely no stamping today either, so it's just cutting. And so we're going to fold and burnish all our lines first, like so. And make sure you've got these lines nice and burnished, as it will help keep the structure when the Matchbox boxes are in it. So we're going to start with the 2 1-inch rectangles at the bottom of the card. Actually, I missed one score line out, so we'll just quickly bring the scoreboard back in. With those 2 rectangles at the top, we want to score at 1 inch just down to that second score line, which is here. So 1 inch to there, and then 1 inch on the other side. So this is 10 3/4 down to that second score line. Almost forgot there. So we don't need to do anything with that score line in terms of burnishing it. It's more a guide for us. So what you'll have in this corner is 4 squares. So we want to cut up that guide score line that we put in, and we want to cut up the next score line, but only up to the second horizontal line, like so. And then we want to take off this first rectangle here, cutting straight, no mitering, like so. And then that leaves you with this little strip that has 2 squares, and we need to cut that across the score line to take off one of those squares, like so. And this is what you're left with. So I'm folding this out of the way because we need to miter this here. This is going to be one of our tabs. So if we take that off, and we take off there too, like so. And then the final part on this bottom corner is this first rectangle here. Needs a little miter also. So what is going to happen when we put the box together is this strip here is going to fold over and reinforce the front, and that tab will sit in there. So we need to replicate this on the other side. So up those 2 score lines to the second horizontal, creating those 2 flappy tabs with the 4 squares. Take off the first one completely and cut the second one down that halfway score line, like so. Again, fold this out of the way just so I don't nip it when I'm going to mitre in, but then you mitre both sides of that square, taking a little bit of a wedge out, and then like we did on this side, we're just going to mitre this first rectangle to that first score line, like so. That's the bottom part done. So the next section, we're moving into these are 3 1/8 here, and what we want to do is where we've got this tab, we want to cut up to the next score line on the diagonal. So we want to cut so that it's like that. I'll show you what I mean. So with long scissors, I mean, you can do this in the trimmer as well if you're not brave enough with long scissors. But that's it, that's all we're doing. We're cutting the diagonal from this 1 inch mark here up to here. And it's the same on the other side. So I'm going to flip mine over as I find it easier to put it up to the top there. And then you have this. So now we're on these squares here. We're going to address these squares and these corner rectangles. So what we need to do here is we need to cut up this score line here to the first vertical score line, like so, and then you create that as a tab. Same on the other side. And then you want to mitre this slightly and take off that rectangle on both sides, like so. And then the final part is to cut down this score line to the next horizontal, freeing this as a tab on both sides, like so. And then I'm just going to fold this part out of the way, and we're going to mitre these big squares. One, and on the other side, that's 2. So then you're left with this as your template. Yep, so what we want to do, these 4 are going to be our tabs. We need some glue on them. So I'm using Seal Plus for speed, but Tombow would be just as good, or any other multi-purpose glue. So that's that one, and then some on this one as well. Try not to tear your tab off while you do it, like so. That's those 2 done. On this side, that one, and then this little one, like so. And then you want a piece down this long rectangle here, and the same on this long rectangle at the opposite side. And that's all the glue that we need. So I'm going to start on the little tabs first, and we just need to pull them in and bring up the front to meet, sticking them down. The same on the other side, bring them in, bring the front up to meet, and stick. Now the big tabs, same again, put the tab in, bring the back up to meet, and same on the other side, back up to meet. And there you can see the box is forming. So you want to fold in the front, and you want to fold in the back. Why is that doing that? So yeah, you want to make sure you mitre them squares properly. I've got a bit of an issue there. But what I'm going to do, get your bone folder, and you can press those creases down as well. And that gives it a bit of just making sure that that glue is settled in and stuck. And there we have it. That is our storage container. Just bring the boxes in, and as you can see, it fits all 7 in absolutely perfectly, like so. And it keeps them nice and sturdy. What I did on this one is, when we cut out these initial panels, I cut out 2 just as a precaution. I didn't need the second ones, so I just stuck them along the front in the same pattern. You could put DSP on the box, you could put embellishments, you could stamp it, you can do anything you want, but that is how to form the basic structure. So this, along with last week's video, will make this up entirely. Please let me know what you thought of the project. You can find all the colours used, all the items used, and all the measurements for both the boxes and for the little container on my blog, and you can find the link for that in the description bar just below here. And I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye.